guess whose much delayed video review of a certain veteran K-pop group's 10th studio album is finally here. If you guessed this is Flower Woman at Lotus Petal Studios, you got it right. And guess who is the veteran K-pop group who's had their album delayed so many times and it finally came out about 3 weeks ago? Well, you guessed it right. It was Super Junior and their 10th studio album, The Renaissance. So, after so many delays, just countless, just always saying it's gonna come, and we were all waiting anxiously finally for the album to come out, and now we have it here. To say the least, always Super Junior, they really outdid themselves this time with the album cover. This is just drop dead gorgeous. And look, it's like a book. This is so cool. I just love all the sparkles on it. It looks so classical and fancy, and we have like beautiful pictures of the boys in these really like classy Renaissance-y style outfits, and they're all just posing around like this, and also here are their other outfits too, and I just love this so much. So I don't know if you can see, that's just some of the pictures. And of course, along with my order, which I am actually so glad I got in time and a lot sooner than I thought, since I know with the current pandemic, a lot of things have kind of been held up. But hey, I managed to get this poster. I'm probably not showing it the right way, along with the album. And of course, with every Super Junior album, you always get a photo card. Kind of reminds me of collecting Pokemon cards in a way, except this time it is Super Junior. And I got quite a few this time, actually. Got this one right here, and has all of their signatures. I really wish I could read that, but I can't because obviously I don't know Korean. And I got Heechul right here. And he's just looking so severe right there, as if he's ready for the show. And I got all these other ones here. I remember it was part of some sort of concept. Oops. Whoopsies. And here's the back with all the guys in their fancy outfits. But seriously, where do these awesome outfits go? Because these are absolutely beautiful. I really wish that they made a music video with these. So, as with all of my photo cards, they go safely in this little bag right here where I keep all of the photo cards, because I'm a bit of a nerd that way. So anyway, what is a video review of an album? We're not actually going to talk about the songs. So we've got quite a track list waiting here for us. 10 songs on this album, and we're going to of course start with number 1 because it makes sense. So number 1 is their intro song, Super, because of course they are super, because duh, they're called Super Junior. So Super is meant to be an intro song, and they've always kind of been into their intro song anthems, and they had ones like Superman from their Mr. Simple album, and there was, what's it called? Oh, The Crown on their Time Slip album, which was just in 2019. And boy, I love both of those songs. And as for Super, it's another great addition to those Super Junior anthem songs. And what more can I say? I love how it just slowly builds up to the chant at the start. And I love the chant because it gets you really hyped for the show or whatever, because I can really imagine this in like a huge like super show, their world tour, where they get you really hyped up for the rest of it, and I'm just getting excited right now at the thought of it. The only drawback to it though was that it was a little bit too short. It was something like, maybe it was under 2 minutes, I can't remember how long, and I know some other fans kind of complained about that too, but I guess they felt that it was already just really powerful enough. But still, I kind of wish that they added on a second verse, but that's only a small complaint. So we're getting on to track number 2, House Party. So House Party is the main single off of the album. And honestly, I ended up kind of with mixed feelings about it, since I was a little bit disappointed that they didn't go more with the Renaissance outfits. Instead, they were kind of, as I said, going more for like modern day, sort of NCT style. outfits, and that's okay and all, but I was a little bit disappointed. Also, I did not like Donghae's hair in the video. Those braids did not suit him, and I'm really glad he's taken them out for the live performances. Now, I kind of suspect that there must have been some studio intervention in there for some reason, because they kind of were setting the stage for something else, and suddenly we kind of got House Party out of left field. But that's a tiny complaint. Now, what would I say about House Party as a song? It's a very funky song. It's definitely with a funky jam. I really like it because Super Junior have always been into that kind of like funky style. And it sounded a lot like Uptown Funk by Bruno Mars. And I really liked it. I was like, yeah, this is cool. I can imagine myself at a disco with this. And there was this one part though when they were like doing the whole like Uptown Funky sort of style, and all of a sudden, like after the first chorus, they bring in like the trap breakdown, and it's this thing that K-pop has always done since day one, it seems, where they try to jam more than one genre into one song, and as always, I've never been a fan of it, because it just feels like you're kind of like dancing along to one song, and then all of a sudden you get like a totally different song. And the trap breakdown in of itself was actually quite good, because when Heechul comes out for his one bit, it's really powerful, and he always like gives these very powerful in-your-face performances. But as I said, I kind of wish they took that segment of the song and just made it into a separate song, instead of just try to go like, oh yeah, we're being all funky monkey here, and then it's like, oh boom, trap breakdown. So yeah, and I have one other thing, which was the lyrics. I'm not a fan of the lyrics because it sounded a little bit cheesy and preachy. I know some people would say that's a great message because it's talking about like safety measures during the current pandemic, and I'm a little bit like, it sounds kind of like the WHO paid you guys to sing this, and I felt it was just a little cringe. Again, that's just me, but I heard somewhere that they might have had to have had the song rewritten because it wouldn't have been exactly appropriate to have a song called House Party that's about partying when you can't be with your friends. Well, at least where I am, you can be, but in South Korea, I don't think so. And as I said, it just seemed a little bit ironic as well, because in the music video, they were all seen like hugging and dancing together, and you're a bit like, you're singing about social distancing and masks while you're all hugging each other maskless. So it was all a little bit odd, and also the music video, again, it was very modern, flashy, it was quite fun, and I do appreciate all of Wookie's facial expressions in it, because I always found he made the funniest facial expressions. At the same time, I felt that it was a bit too, like, generic modern K-pop. Maybe I'm being like an old K-pop fogey here, for all we know. But hey, I still overall enjoyed it. Okay, so track number 3, I believe, is Burn the Floor. Let's see. Yep, Burn the Floor, I was correct. I somehow memorized this after all my re-recordings. So anyway, Burn the Floor. This song is a freaking masterpiece. I love it. So they released this song at the Fact Music Awards, where they performed it for the first time. I think it was either end of November or the beginning of December 2019. And oh my goodness, if Super Junior need another iconic track to their name, it should be Burn the Floor. Burn the Floor is just so amazing. It's original, it's beautiful. I already made a sort of improvised review back around when they first released it, and they also did this performance video of it, and it was so good. I just can't stop gushing about it. I love the choreography. I love how they had like the lights, and it just set the feel. It felt like a theater. It felt like a sort of fairy tale theater, and the song was just so romantic, and I loved how the lights, as they like moved around with it, really set the mood, and I just can't stop talking about it. I loved how romantic it was too, where they just talk about like dancing in the hall, and always love their costumes during it as well. Just, I already mentioned in the improvised review, I love some of the vocal pairings too, like Wookie and Itook. I always think that they sound great together. I also loved Donghae and Hyukjae's rap at the very end, and I know I originally thought that the song ended a bit abruptly, but actually I changed my mind. It actually was perfect for the song. And also, what other bits do I love? I love from start to finish, okay? I'm telling you, this song deserves a music video. I am still glad, regardless, that they're promoting this song, because really, they should be promoting the hell out of this song, because it is just so original, so unique, just everything about it. Still, I appreciate that they made a performance version, because also that was really nice. And as I said in the improvised review, it was kind of nice for once to see them all stripped down, which I probably contradicted myself, but who cares? I hope they keep on promoting this instead. But before I carry on boring you all with me gushing about Burn on the Floor, I want to move swiftly on to track number 4, and that is Paradox. Paradox, it sounds like a very EXO-inspired song, and that's no surprise because Super Junior and EXO are label mates. I always kind of wish that they did a collab. That would have been so cool. I hope so one day. Hope so. But anyway, Paradox sounds really cool and smooth. It might be a little bit more sort of mainstream K-pop, but that doesn't mean it's necessarily bad. Some people complained, or one or two out there complained it sounded a little clunky, and maybe the pre-chorus was a little bit, but I didn't think it was bad. I loved the verses. I loved Hyukjae and Shindong's rap in the second verse. I just love everything about it. Wookie's vocals always just adds a bit more spice to every song, and you just can't fail in anything. And I love the chorus where they just go, "We're in a paradox, dox, 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 dox." It's just really cool. I could just imagine a music video for it. Maybe they should just go back in one of their boxes and they should escape the paradox. Almost as it's symbolic of them escaping SM. I didn't just say that. Okay then, let's move on. Track number 5, it's Closer. Oh, this one makes me laugh a bit because a lot of fans were a little bit shocked by this song. And I mean, yeah, when we first heard like a bit of the teaser for this, it kind of led a lot of us to think it was some sort of like sweet romantic song about relaxing on the beach. And that's not to say it isn't romantic. It just ended up being a bit more sexy than everyone expected. And it didn't bother me. Maybe it's because I'm from America and we have some very, well, questionable acts sometimes. But whenever Super Junior have done sexy, they are never vulgar about it. They always still have a lot of a romantic flair to it when they're being sexy, so the lyrics in of themselves are not that bad, and I love the tune. It still makes me feel like I just want to hang out on the beach, relaxing. And as I said, you can have like a sexy vibe and some sexy lyrics, but at the same time have like the romantic side, so it makes it a lot better. Unlike certain other songs, but we're not going to talk about that in this video. So now let's move on. I'm just going to say Closer. Good track, good track. Now we got the melody. This song's so cute. I love this song. They released this song around their 15th anniversary back in November, and it's just too cute. I love just the really laid back music video they made for it, and they look so happy. And I especially love the end where they're all on that really big couch together, just like putting their arms around each other and patting each other on the knees or back, and they're like, oh yeah, we're the brotherhood of Super Junior. It's so sweet, and I love the lyrics too. They're just talking about having been in a band together, and they stuck by each other through thick and thin, and all the bad times, which I'm pretty sure they've had, and it was just so sweet the way they made it. And they also made a reference to the fan base, which is also what I really appreciated, because I'd say that Super Junior, unlike many other groups and celebrities, they get corrupted by fame and they end up not really caring about the fans anymore. But Super Junior seem to be an exception to that, and they still always like appreciate their fans, and that's one thing I've always loved about them, as well as the fact that they're still doing this simply because they just love performing together and making music. not for fame or adulation. And I'm really happy about that since, as I said, so many other celebrities get almost corrupted and consumed by greed. But instead, despite the fact they have all these busy schedules and individual activities, they still find time to perform with each other, which is something I've always been grateful for and I love. They clearly really care about each other as a group. And, well, I think that it shows in the song The Melody. So now we got number 7, and that is the Raining Spell for Love remake version. So there's a bit of a backstory to this one. During the time of their 15th anniversary, they had this poll for all of us fans to answer. And I'm really grateful that they had one in English because I would not have been able to answer it. So yeah, Super Junior, one of the questions, they asked us which of their songs that they've already released would we like them to re-release. And I actually chose their 2006 release, Dancing Out, because I actually really like that song. It's very summery and they filmed the music video in Malaysia. And I thought it would be better for them to re-release and remake a song from like their really early discography. But they instead chose Raining Spell for Love, which was originally released on their 2014 album Mamacita, which is actually one of my all-time favorite albums by them. And I did really like this song. I thought it was so pretty, the original version. But I was initially a little bit disappointed that that one won because I thought well, it only just came out in 2014. Surely you would want something from a bit further back. However, that got wiped away very fast because this remake version is perfect. If I had to choose another favorite track on the album, it would be Raining Spell for Love. It's another song I just want to gush about because they had a simple music video for it, which was a live performance version, and they got to show off their talent, their vocals, and it's just beautiful. The song is just so sad. You can feel this raw emotion in it, where it's singing about loss, and it hit me doubly hard because I sadly had lost my old kitty last month at the time making this video, and even though it's technically about romantic loss, it still hit very hard. But regardless, I love it, and just each of the members gave something special to it. And certain bits that I really liked was Hyukjae's rap after the first chorus. I really appreciate the fact that it flowed in so naturally, because sometimes you get these songs where they add a rap verse in it and it just doesn't fit and it's kind of jarring. But this bit really suited it, and of course the KRY powerhouse trio, Yaesung, Kyuhyun, and Wookie, they're just perfect. And I'm afraid to say I have to go on about Wookie and how perfect his high note at the very end was. Again, I love his high notes so much. He has such a unique voice. I wish he had more attention because he's just one of the most talented singers I think I've ever heard. And also, I loved how they rearranged it too to add a bit more piano to it. So it made that all the more raw and powerful. So as I said, I think each and every one of the members, even though I chose out 2 in particular, but each and every one of them just added that flair to it that I just love. So now, without further ado, we'll go on to track number 8, and that is Mystery. So this is another one of their more upbeat, fast tracks, and it had a whistle in it just like the melody had. Except this one went out more throughout the song, and it had this little beat, which again felt quite different for Super Junior actually. As I said, I always loved how Super Junior would experiment with different sounds and concepts. I also loved the fact that they were using kind of their higher singing voices. I'm not a singing expert, so please correct me. I don't know how to describe it. But I loved sort of falsettos that they were doing there. They're going da-da mystery. I can't sing. But it was again really cute, really cool. And I love driving down the road listening to it oh yeah, mystery. It's just, I don't know, it just suits the road. So another great song. Now we got number 9. Another ballad, More Days With You. Oh, this song is so cute. I love it. I know I keep saying cute, but really, Super Junior know how to make cute songs. And this one, someone in the comment section somewhere said that that More Days With You felt like the ending theme to a fairy tale, and it does. It's just gorgeous. Super Junior always aced their ballads, and sometimes one ballad is a little bit generic, but really More Days With You is so beautiful. I can just imagine in my head them singing on a stage, all while the prince and princess dance with each other in the ballroom. I believe that if they were gonna promote another song, it should be this one too, because this just can't be wasted. Some might not agree with me when I say this, but as much as I like Paradox and Mystery, I felt that they didn't fit in with the very Renaissance-y theme right here. While I feel that More Days With You really did fit in with that. So that's also what I appreciate. Just, as I said, the very classical theme. And again, it just showcased all of their talents and vocals. I'm telling you, people mostly praise the KRY trio, but really, they ought to be just praising them all, because every single one of them can sing. There's so many boy bands out there that don't have completely talented members, but every single member of Super Junior can sing. And yes, even Siwon, because I've seen before so many people think that Siwon can't sing, but no, he can. So last but certainly not least, we have the 10th track on this album, and that is Tell Me Baby, the Christmas release that they released around in December for Christmas, and they had like a little music video for it, and it was really, really cute. It was like animated, and it showed them getting a letter, and they go off to give presents, and they give a cake to like a fan, and there were some jokes like saying, oh, they had to animate it or else fans would get jealous if they used a real girl. I mean, come on. I know I'm not the only fan out there, so that's a bit stupid, but I'm pretty sure that was a joke anyway. But the song itself, it felt as if it was a bit more tacked on at the end, which I understand. I mean, I guess they felt they had to put it somewhere. Even though they could have just released that as a single, but oh well. And though, if I'm going to be honest, it is a little bit forgettable. The two other Christmas tracks that Super Junior had released in the past, which was Show Me Your Love in 2005, which they did with TVXQ when they were once a 5-member group. And their other one was, I'm trying to remember, oh, Santa You Are the One, that they released in 2011, which was obviously an English cover of the song that we all know. And that was about the only song that had all the members of Super Junior performing with Henry and Jomi. And I find it a shame that was about the only time they ever did. I'm getting off track here, but I can't help but rant about it, because unfortunately there are so many fans that don't want Henry and Jomi to this day. Well, they can't really have Henry because he left officially. But Jomi, please, can you add him? Please? Okay, I better get back on track. So, Tell Me Baby was okay, but I wouldn't say it was the strongest track on the album. So what's the overall verdict for this album? I would say it is a great album as always. Super Junior never failed to deliver. I love the cover. I love all the teasers. I just love everything about it. All the songs were just overall great. Even though I found that actually the ballads overall stood out more to me and really showcased Super Junior's like uniqueness and gave them a bit more of a personal flair than other songs like House Party, which I felt was kind of also specifically made to appeal to a younger audience. Or maybe they're just experimenting, maybe I'm just thinking too much about it. But yeah, I felt that like House Party, Paradox, and Mystery were a little bit more generic, and it's not because I don't like them. I'm just saying that it did feel more that way, and I did prefer all the like more classical songs such as Burn the Floor, More Days With You, heck, even Closer, and Raining Spell for Love remake version really suited this. So, as I said, I really love the album regardless. Super Junior, they always like put their heart and soul into their albums. It's a shame though that the album got delayed so many times, because we're all like sort of, are we gonna get it yet? Are we gonna get it yet? Are we gonna get it yet? Oh no! And finally we did, and it's great. And I'll just put out an apology, guys. Sorry that this video was kind of late. Almost as delayed as the album itself. I was actually quite sick for a month, and I was still dealing with the fatigue. I had like the virus that's causing this current pandemic, and yeah, the fatigue is awful, and I couldn't really make a proper video when I was that fatigued, because I'm kind of on camera right now. However, I'm better now, thankfully, and I got this video out. I hope it's not too late. I hope you guys can still see it, and I hope you enjoy it. So this is the Flower Woman at Lotus Petal Studios. I will see you all later.